Yeah, so I'm out here in the yard today. I had to use two extension cords to get out here and find some shade so I can sit out for a few minutes. So I appreciate, yeah, man, appreciate being able to do this. Haven't been able to do it for a while. But the thought was kicking at me when I was coming in, I took a little walk. And I was coming in and looking at things, and it reminded me of the perspective of a butterfly. Sometimes we look at life from the perspective of a butterfly and see it, life, I mean, not just your experience, his experience, but life from a different perspective. And that is loud. You have to check that out. And what happens is I get what they call it, the idea that from a different perspective, we should look at life from different perspectives. Not always the same perspective day in, day out, every day, same old, same old, same old. But adopt a different perspective every now and then just to see how it feels to have a different perspective. I was reminded of two things today. One is a guy named Feynman. Yeah, Feynman. He was I don't know where he's at now, but his name was Feynman, and he was dealing with quantum mechanics, quantum this, quantum that. And we keep saying that a lot of quantum is an attempt to explain nature, which we do with what we call voodoo, and the science, of that. Okay, we get blinded, huh? Hold on, got you. So, so the idea is that everything is always the same. Now is always like the present. You call it the present, but 10 seconds ago, that now the past, and 10 seconds in the way we move, because we're moving through a certain system, they would call that the future. But it's still the same moment. No, nothing really has changed. We just sliding like on the escalator, looking at different moments and stuff. And the escalator is something that we call time, and so we riding through and things are moving and changing like we're watching a movie. It's very similar to all the things that's out here. It's so simple that we keep looking for something else to be the something else to be the. That's what it is. But the thing I want to talk about is the history is not the past. History is a story about. Come on, man. Keep doing that, son. History is a story about the past. I hear people saying, "Well, I got a history." Yeah, I mean, you got a story. I take it as a story. They take it as a history. We all got a past. I mean, past got itself. We ain't got to have a past. Shoot, past got itself. Whether it's yours, mine, or somebody else's, it's still it's still the past. That don't never change. That's what I'm saying. The past don't change. The only thing that changes is history. What story is being told about the past? The past not gonna change. It don't do that. The past is the past. As far as that is concerned, it's a spot, it's a moment you went through it as an experience, and then that little escalator I was talking about, or whatever, the moving, what they call it, moving sidewalk that we live on called time. It just keeps moving and stuff. And the path, we have to turn this way to look to see the path. That's all that is. It's still there. It's just the escalator we're on is, moving, baby. And so then there's the future. So the idea that I heard the guy Feynman said from the perspective, this is why I brought up the perspective thing. I heard the guy Feynman on today's, what I look at different stuff. I heard him say, from the perspective of a photon, as I think that they call a photon in his science, they call that photon is a light particle of light. From the perspective, however, of a proton, everything is instantaneous. Because a proton moves as fast, if not faster, than time. So when it's something moving that fast, it has really a perspective of time that's quite different from the one that we seem to coddle. Because we're coddling a perspective. It's not the reality. It's not even our perspective. It's a perspective that has been given to us as learn this, go through 8 years, 9, 10 years, do this repeatedly. If you do almost anything repeatedly, it's going to become a habit. After it becomes a habit, guess what? You don't have to think about it again. You're going to automatically do the habit thing. It's the dog with the bell thing. That's how things go once you become a habit. And that's what it is, all this time thing is to teach you about that. Oh, be on time, come to work, do that. I got this bill and that bill. That's why they keep hitting you every month. Every lunar cycle, they're hitting you with something to get you back into their cycle. So, their mindset. It's all almost witchcraft type stuffy. But, it's easy to, it's not. It's witchcraft type stuff. It is not easy to get out of it all the time for everyone. The same thing I recommend for anyone. Just drop all of it. Everything, the dates, the time, the whatever you think, whatever you want to think, whatever you want, just drop it all. Go into complete enlightenment. That's where I'm at. In complete enlightenment. You know what? Complete enlightenment, right? This is where you say, okay, I ain't carrying nothing. It's called Atlas Shrugged. You know Atlas Shrugged? You have a concept of that concept. Atlas Shrugged. Atlas was carrying the world, which is what we are doing. Carrying the world on our shoulder. Whatever our world is, we're carrying that world on our shoulder. And the concept was Atlas Shrugged, meaning Atlas let that shoulder go. That world, just let it go, man. It ain't yours. It's not yours to carry. You're carrying something that's not yours. Man, come on. You can't even carry it. It's not. You're not even capable of carrying the word. That's why you're so stressed out. Oh, yeah. Heart attack, the Buddha, bada bing, a bong, a bang, a bong, because you're trying to do a thing that you're not built for. You're not built to carry the world. Nobody is. Come on, cousin. That's what the whole thing is about perspective. Your perspective is you got to carry the world. Well, I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for that. And they did this too. All that bullshit. Let all of it go. Oh, well, what about this and what about that? Hey, what about this and what about that? Drop it all. That's called complete enlightenment when you just drop everything and say bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, because in the reality of it all, you drop dead this moment, everything will continue. Everything will continue. The buses will still run on time. The thing over here will happen. Your daughter still get to school, and the rest of all that stuff gonna still happen. And you'll be dead. I'm telling you now, drop it now. Just go into a complete. It's called. I think it's called entropy. But I haven't looked the word up yet because I got that word from watching this Feynman, the thing about Feynman, what he was talking about the quantum this and quantum that. He was talking about that particles, they choose, and he was talking about time, right? And how the particle can choose what it's going to be after it has passed through the slit or something like that. They got some experiments they like to talk about. Meanwhile, the idea is that whatever you think is going to happen most likely gonna happen. So when somebody like there's a book I read when I was a youth. I say I was a youth because I still feel like a youth, right? I'm what I call 26. People say, "What's your age?" I tell them I'm 26. I'm telling you the same thing. Anybody, I tell myself I'm 26. I know I don't look like I'm 26 in this or what in their concept of mine of 26. I am 26,000 days, over 26,000. My next solar cycle, however, because I don't really go by that, I go by something different. But my next solar cycle, I'll be 27,000. So this is the idea, right? Is that we look at what's happening. There's a book. The book is called The Zulu, Zulu, and the Indian. It's a children's book. It's a young adults, adolescents book by Louis L'Amour. I don't know if you know Louis. Louis wrote a lot of stuff about the West and this kind of thing. Like that other guy wrote a lot of stuff about the Mississippi. Forget his name. Walt Whitman, I think. Somebody like that. They wrote a lot of stuff about Mississippi River and stuff. Novels. Not the truth. You got to pick the shit apart, right? But anyway, he wrote this thing about the Zulu and the Indian when I was a youth, right? Now, so I'm listening and looking at stuff and reading because I read a lot of books, yeah. Who hasn't? I don't know. Anyway, it goes like this. And the Zulu and the Indian, they were both like orphans in their reality. They had been orphaned and they were living at a fort. They were almost, young grown men, but they were living at a fort because the fort had one of them hired as cook, and the other one was like a gardener or something. The Zulu and the Indian. It was two guys. One was what you call a red skin Indian. The other one was a brown skin man, and so what the warden decided to run an experiment on the two guys. And what he did was he identified them as a Zulu and as an Indian. And then he spoon fed them that culture, whatever culture he chose for them. He spoon fed it to them. See, that's why you got it like this. Because you're a Zulu. And Zulus got that kind of thing that you got. See, because that's what you are. And now the guy didn't know none of this stuff. He spoon fed him all of this stuff. And the Indian, same way. He spoon fed him, the guy that he called Indian. He spoon fed him a history, a culture, and everything so that that guy would know it and believe it because of the way he spoon fed it to him, I'm saying. All right. So now the guy that grew up 7 years later, 5 years later, about 5 years later, in the book. It's a small book. You can read it, like 100 pages. Louis wrote books for adolescents. Back then, the attention span was 100 pages. Now I understand the attention span is less than 100 seconds. Go figure. But the thing goes like this. You can go back to that idea that he utilized, and he got them to inculcate those cultures and histories to where they felt that's who and what they were. So at some point he needed something done. They were being, I mean, they had drought or some kind of incident, and he needed something done. So he talked them through being Zulu and Indian into making a 50-mile or whatever mile it was run to go get help from another fort. And he told them to use all that stuff, from their culture, from their history, and their body and all that kind of stuff. And so they did. And when they got to the place, of course, and got the help and everything, they were still helping everything. That didn't change. But at this point, what Louis was saying is the psychology of it all. When you can grasp someone who has no idea of the past or their culture, you can spoon feed them a past and a culture, and they will eat it as though it is theirs. An elder gave it to me like on the island I was at Bingy, and Bingy in the bush. Bingy in the bush, that was beautiful. I did more than one Bingy in the bush, right? And the elder told me, he said, when a child is born in a prison, that prison is their home. And like anyone else, they will fight to defend their home. This is the perspective that we are under. The perspective, and I say we're under because it's a seduction. It's a seduced. It's not really our perspective. It's an imposed perspective. It's an imposed history. That's not really our past, but that's the history that we just keep repeating. And I noticed that about history too. They say these little quaint ass cliches. So if you like, I call it, if you're stupid, you'll go for them. Which is, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. When actually, the opposite is the thing. If you don't know your history, you'll never repeat it. When you know your history, you're constantly repeating it every day to everybody. Yeah, you know what I had to go through, because you're going to tell them now your history. And you're busy repeating it, and you're repeating it to yourself. Every morning you wake up, you start repeating your history to yourself. You're just busy repeating that same history. It's a loop. And the more you study that, like, okay. When I talked to somebody the other day, and they said something about something. And I said, oh, you still, no, man, I'm done with that. Because they thought they had to apologize. I had already walked past that. I'm on this escalator, and it's busy going down, whatever. I'm just saying it's busy moving. And that stuff back there, man, I can't be dealing with that stuff back there because I'm in this moment right here in what we call the present. I know it's another moment that the escalator is moving toward, or it seems to be moving toward, which is a thing called the future. But at that future, it is only going to exist as a now. Nothing else exists except now. Everything exists as a now. And then the rest is all memory or projection, and they got words for all that other stuff that you want to call it. But the future is now. when we get to the future, it'll be a now. And when you leave the past, you'll be in the present, and that'll be a now. And when you're in the past, that'll be that now. It's, it's always now. It's always now. Now never change. That's what, okay. That's what'd be funny to me. People, I talk to and deal with people all the time. I mean, and they, ooh, man, they are decrepit and beat up and malformed, and it's all because of their perspective. They think, first of all, they think this idea of God made a mistake and had to clean it up with sending a savior and Moses with some ark or something like. And I'm saying, see, that's that story. It's a story. When you look at reality, just put the book down, man. Stop reading so many stories. Just look at reality, right? And see where is the mistake. I'm looking at, you see this? I'm looking at bananas and trees and stuff. And I'm looking at abundanza. I'm looking at abundance. I don't see the mistake. I'm in good health. I don't see the mistake. But when you see the mistake, then you're gonna have bad health. Because you think the creator, I call it the creator. I call it, and I'm saying it, so I want you to know what I'm talking about when I say it. I call it the creator. And the creator is always creating. This thing all this is being created at this moment. This is now. I call it a moment, what they call now. I like to use the term moment because it's a now. It's a depiction of time that you are able to concentrate or contemplate, and we call that a moment, right? So in this moment, in like people say, moment in time or whatever, I just say, we going on this movable sidewalk, and anything that we call that the past, and anything up there we call that the future. That's how that thing goes. And right now, what we can see, we call that the present. It's just that simple. Ain't nothing big and you got to figure it out. None of that. Now, the only thing I do want to emphasize, though, as we go through all this, that we determine how the future is going to go for us as an individual inside. Like, we're going to have problems, we're going to get sick, we're going to da-da-da-da-da-da. All of that comes through our filtration. Because what's happening is happening. It's always been happening. The trees, the sun, the moon, the birds, they da-di-da-di-da. Nature is always happening. How we filter that in, I can't do it. Oh, yeah. Oh. When you're making all them kind of concepts that move through the mind, because that's the mind making all them concepts, being influenced by all them concepts. Well, why he got, be influenced by all them concepts that creates all of that vitriol, and this body is a chemical factory. Every thought creates a chemical. Forget what you heard. Every thought. Not even the whole thought sometimes. Half the thought. Half the thought creates a chemical. Just being in the position of one. Look, watch this. This is so simple. Just being in the position of optimistic and pessimistic. Just choosing one of those sides changes everything. It changes your whole chemical setup, whether you're going to be acidic or whatever the other thing, base. I know them as acids and base. If you're going to be base or you're going to be acidic, that's how I know it. But I'm just saying, if you're pessimistic, then almost everything that you creating it. You're pessimistic from the inside, then everything on the outside is going to match your focus point inside, the pessimism. When you are optimistic, things will focus on that vibe. It's like AC/DC type of thing. You can only do DC stuff when you in a DC situation, you want to do AC stuff, you got to have an inverter. You got to invert that power. It's power either way you go. You're going to have pessimistic, it's funny, you're going to have pessimistic power if you go that way, and you're going to have, optimistic power when you go there, because it's all coming from you. That's the thing we like to say. Well, they did that to me. Well, what? Now, how they treat me like that? Now, listen, I tell people all the time, you can't treat me. All you can do is behave. That's your business. How your behavior can't be, I can't take that as, oh, he treats me so bad. I feel, hey, I ain't going to do that. But I mean, the idea that somebody is treating you is already ingrained in you from a sub position, because most people who say somebody's treating them will also say they don't have no control and they don't have any power. So you already gave up power and control, and you are in a subservient position anytime you start talking that somebody treating you. You put yourself there. It don't really exist. You put yourself there from your perspective. Your perspective is something. Now we got a thing here called history. History says that, oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. History says that people who look like me are subservient for over hundreds of years and all this crap over there. History. Now, if when one inculcates it, when one brings it in as though it's real into their body and their being, their heart, oh, it's so sad, and all that in their mind, they are causing themselves to be diseased. It's automatic. You have to when you think of yourself as a piece of whatever, subservient, then the world is going to behave in that same fashion. Like I said about the misery and the optimism, I call it misery more than pessimism. Because people be miserable, man. They just be miserable. I say, why are you so miserable? Well, life is miserable. Yeah, you're making it miserable. Because all you have to do is choose, I call it happiness. Just to, what they call optimism. I call it happiness, right? Choose to be happy, man. It's just that simple. You ain't got to fight. The world will, you misuse. It's like taking a hammer and trying to cook a steak and then mad because the hammer won't cook the steak. You're using the wrong tool to cook the steak. Come on, man, quit playing. That's what I'm just, come on. This is what's up. You're using the wrong tool to cook the snake, the steak, right? And so don't be mad at the tool. Hey, so it's like any other habit. You have to be optimistic over a period of time until your body and your vibe and everything picks up the habit of this optimism. And then the habit of the optimism will move you in the way of optimism. It'll put you into optimistic conditions. It will alarm you. It's like, okay, put the notification for anything optimistic. And you can go sit down somewhere. And when something comes through optimistic, you will be notified. All right, it's like that, man. This is how beautiful it is. All you have to do is set your perspective. This is the thing. The most important thing is setting your perspective, not doing this or doing that. Yeah, set your perspective first. Like from the perspective of a photon, everything is instantaneous. There is nothing else except now. That's infinite. This is infinite perspective. We talk about, oh, I'm a spiritual being. I'm infinite in my. I say, I have these little slogans. I'm writing a book, and you can buy it. It's a little pamphlet with these things in it that I'm about to say. One is this. Okay, I am an immortal being The essence is immortal. My essence, I'm just saying. I'm gonna say this the whole thing, and then I'll explain. I am an immortal being who has learned how to enjoy a mortal experience. That's what's going on. I'm an immortal being enjoying this mortal, experience. It's just that simple. Once you're immortal and you say that, oh yeah, I'm immortal. I hear people say that shit. Okay, then fine. Then you should, at that moment, realize that this is a mortal experience. Just that simple. Like watching a movie or reading a book. It's an experience. Or going to a show. This is it. I always like to say it's like going to an amusement park. Because you got your highs and your lows. You be scared and then you be laughing and all kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what this is. Enjoy it. Be optimistic. Look forward to the next great thing that's coming. That's the future shit. Let's get on it. The past was nice, but when you think the past was miserable, you're setting yourself up for a miserable future. As I said before, contrary to the cliche saying if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Reality speaks different and says, when you think you know your history, when you study history and all that, them just stories. It says it in the word, his story. Don't play. It's not the past, it's a story about the past. We used to watch it, and I heard a guy mention it to me, one of my elders. I mean, he's older than me in years and stuff. He mentioned The Naked City. He didn't remember the name, but as soon as he mentioned, he said there was a movie, there was a show that used to come out about, and they said it's 8 million stories in the, and I finished it for him. This just happens to be one of them. In The Naked City, that's what this is. It's 6 billion people here. Each one of us is a story. Each one of us is a story. That's your story, that's his story, that's her story. Each one of us is a story. Whose story is going to be accepted as the past? No one. All you can do is tell me your story. Hey, I got a story, man. This is what I went through. This is what I experienced, la-di-da. And I'd be like, oh, that's beautiful, man. That's your story. Meanwhile, I have a story too, right? Everybody got a story, man. Come on, we all are stories. That's what we are, stories. That's what we carry. And then when we, in our story, this is the crux of the matter. In our story, we must always speak the truth. See, when we recite our story, it must be in collaboration with the Creator. The Creator is creating all the time. See the butterfly, but the bing, the bonga, the bong, the tree, the Creator, whatever. The Creator is busy creating all the time. Never stops. Don't take no breaks. Sunday off, Monday off, Sunday, Saturday off. The Creator don't need that because the Creator is not in this kind of world. The Creator don't need a break from what? Being what it is. That's like you taking a break from being what you are. Can you take a break from being what you are? How do you take a break from being what you are? So, it's what the Creator is, and this is the creation. And we are seeing it on whatever level you can see it on, perceive it on, or, perspective. It's up to you. But the creation is constantly occurring. It's occurring now, it will continue to occur because it's You know what I mean? It never stops. This is the mortal experience. It's like a movie. It starts somewhere, it ends somewhere. Everything in this mortality, this mortal concept that we call reality, does that. The tree here, the doggone leaf, everything. It starts and it grows and then it decays. They call that mortal. It's the mortal experience. And that's what we're enjoying. If we got enough sense, because I'm trying to give you enough sense, because it's really easy. It's easy. It's just, you got to do it in your head. How easy is it? Is this easy? Decide to be happy. Decide to be optimistic. And make that your habit. When you can make that your habit without thinking, you've already changed your future into an optimistical. Oh, I like that, optimistical future. You're doing it. All this stuff about I can't do that, I ain't got no power. Don't entertain none of that. None of that. They just don't even. Somebody. I suggest staying away from people who do entertain that kind of noise. I have no power. Look at these trees now. Oh, hey, baby. It's the law of the jungle. I mean, it's the law of the world. You know, if somebody bring game to you, you gotta bring game. Like we used to say back in the day, you gotta bring some ass to get some ass. So don't bore me with, oh, I'm gonna come and kick your ass. Hey, dude. You know, come on, man. How y'all playing the game, I don't understand. But you guys, you know, the game goes like that. When a lion comes up and approaches any animal, the lion got to be thinking, can this thing, this animal, whatever it is, do something to hurt me? And even if it don't know what it is, it has to contemplate that. So I'm just saying, by that I'm saying is this: nothing is impenetrable, and you know, impenetrable. Nothing is impenetrable in this environment of. I hear people now calling it 4 dimension, which is funny. But the mortal experience, uh, you know, the only one that I say one because I don't understand how the creator is more than what it is, and so I just say the only one who what that controls this is the creator. And we are involved in that creation. We have that, like I said, that perspective. But truth is our anchor. It's our weapon. Truth is our knife. That's why we lose, and we ain't speaking enough truth, man. When you speak truth all the time, your weapon gets sharp, like that. Speak truth all the time as best as you know it. I ain't trying to tell you what truth is. Well, what is that truth? Nigga, you don't know what truth is. I know little 3-year-old babies know what truth is. Don't bother me with what truth is. I'm telling you, speak the truth all the time. If that's simple, it's not a big order. Because what you're doing is representing the creation of the creator in reality by speaking the truth. When you lie, you're lying on the creator, man. You ain't just lying on Susie or lying on this or lying about that. You are lying on the creator because the creator created this thing, this situation, this experience that you experience, and then you lie about it. Oh, you in trouble. My dude, I don't even know how you are breathing now. I'm just being honest. Soon as you do that, you've started a chain reaction of chemicals throughout your body that are going to suicide you. It's a done deal. You'll start getting sick. That habit sets in, and you'll start noticing how sick you are. The habit of speaking the truth sets in, and you'll notice how healthy you become. But that's not your habit at the moment. So the more you do it, you can notice the difference drastically. And I'm saying, like most people say, about 49 days. I say, okay, I do the 10-second thing, like this. Drop a habit for 10 seconds, and then you can pick it back up. Just drop it for 10 seconds. That way it don't hurt you too much. Drop all your habits, drop everything for 10 seconds. Become total enlightened for 10 seconds. And do that every now and then till you can build it up to 30 seconds, 40 seconds, an hour, whatever. And then till you can get it until it be a habit, and then you're totally enlightened. This is enlightenment. You're totally enlightened. You carry no baggage. Nothing weighs you down. Once you reach total enlightenment, you feel so free. Yes. Even if you don't reach total enlightenment, just a little of it, you feel so free. So this is what I'm recommending. 10 seconds at a time, so you don't feel like you're losing something too much. 10 seconds, you can get back if you think. Don't do it while you're driving and stupid stuff like that. Sit down, meditate, whatever y'all want to call it, and do it. 10 second drop. 10-second drop. Just let everything go. 10 seconds. Especially everything in the past and the desires, everything. Just let everything go. What you want to do, what you don't want to do, what you're thinking about. Just letting go. Let go of letting go. Just drop everything. Don't even try to let go of everything. Just let go of everything at once, and then you don't have to let go of letting go, because you're letting go of letting go when you let go. For 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Do it here, do it there. 10 seconds. Perspective. This is perspective. This whole thing is about perspective. Your perspective is optimistic. You're going to see things in an optimistic light or perspective. Your perspective is misery. You're going to see stuff in a miserable light. And as soon as it come in, oh, well, what is that all about? What the fuck he want? That's, hey, it don't matter what he want. You done gave the vibe. And you don't realize you're creating the vibe because you think you ain't got no power, but you're using your power inversely. Move over from the pessimistic to the optimistic and make that your habit that becomes your vibe, and your vibe will carry you through this. I'm done. I've been, doing this a while, and I am done with this particular event. I appreciate it if you watch any of it. Some of it, 5 seconds, hit the like button. What's that other thing called? Subscribe. And comment. Why not? Comment. Whatever your comment is. I like all comments. It's interaction, you know what I mean? Entanglement. One love.